Hello, my name is Jeremy Chang. Today's date is the 17th of July, 2026, and this is my week 7 Excel training program. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this into a XLSX file. So from a CSV file to an XLXS file. So I'm just going to save that, and now it's been converted. So now we can stay within this window. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tidy everything up because a few things are sticking out of their columns a little bit. So what this will do is this will just make things easier for us to work with, because if we can see it better, we can work better. So now that that's done, we're going to do that thoroughly throughout the entire exercise as well. But just for now, we're going to keep it like that. Anyways, we're adding the first two new variables as the first step, mean and standard deviation. So how we're going to calculate these is we're going to look for the values within these columns here relative to this table over here and see if we can find any exact matches. So how we're going to do that is we're going to use the VLOOKUP function. And if you see here, lookup value, we're going to use this column because we're looking for these names basically in this column. And we're going to collect the data, the corresponding data from this table on the right. So how we're going to do that is we're going to basically highlight the entire table and all its values. So let's see. 7. So now that that's done, we put these dollar signs to lock it because we're going to drag this down all the way so we can do things easier. So now that that's done, we're going to select, because it's the mean, we're going to select 2. As you see, approximate match and exact match. So in this case, we're going to do exact match. And we're just going to just close this off. So now we've got 6. And we can drag this down because if you look at the formula, we locked it with the dollar signs. So just going to drag it down all the way. I think there's 300 values or so. So yeah, precisely 300 values. So now you can see that's been done for us. What we can do here is, since we're using the same table, we can also do the same for the standard deviation. So just going to copy that and paste it here. But we're going to change 2 to 3 because we're not looking for the mean, we're looking for the standard deviation. And so we've got 2. And if we drop that down 300, you can see it's filled it out for all the columns. So the next step that we have to do is we're gonna try to find the new variables random number and simulated time to failure. So random number is pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just a randomized number between 0 and 1. So we use the command rand, and then essentially every time this command runs, it'll just make a new number between 0 to 1, completely random, and we'll have like just any sort of integer between 0 and 1 it'll give us. So we've done that, and the next one is simulated time till failure. So this one, we've left this one for last because we actually need these 3 columns here, the mean, standard deviation, random number, to calculate it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do normal distribution. So, and then the probability, which is mean, standard deviation, random number, then mean, then the standard deviation. We're gonna close that off. So as you can see, it's been calculated. This is the simulated time to the failure. So we drag that down and we get a bunch of these values. Yeah. So that's the first 4 steps done. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to try and calculate a few more things. So we're going to calculate the average for the mean here, or the values, all 300 of them. Do that for the mean and also for the standard deviation. So how we're going to do that is we're going to do averages, and then we're just going to like put them down here. So for mean, SD, we'll do these 2 first. So average, just going to grab this and hold shift as we collect that. So done, and then we can just literally copy this formula, paste it down here, and just change the C to a D. So D, put D there, done. And then what we're going to do now is we actually have to calculate a 95% confidence interval for these values. So what we're missing here is actually the standard error. So we're just going to calculate that right now. So to calculate standard error, we're going to do standard error. So just do that, and it's gonna real quick, just everything so it's more readable. Standard error, how we calculate that is we actually use the standard deviation here, and then we just divide it by the square root of the amount of trials. So we have 300, so we divide it by 300. Anyway, so the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to calculate the 95% confidence interval that we talked about earlier. So we have to do, we just mark as 95% confidence interval, and we're going to do lower bound and upper bound. So lower and then upper. So how we're going to do this is pretty easy formula. So we use what we just calculated here, the mean time. And then what we want to do is, okay, this is not supposed to be the mean of that. It's supposed to be the mean of the simulated time to failure. So let me just change that real quick. F. Okay, that's much better. So the upper bound here is so the mean time that we just found, mean time minus 1.96, and then we just times that by the standard error that we just calculated. So that's our lower bound, and then we can do the same for our upper bound, where instead of minusing it, we add it instead. And as you can see, these are our values. So that's plus, that's minus, correct? Okay, this didn't work out, so it's H5, so H. We'll just redo that. So we need to plus 1.96 times the standard error. So as you can see, that looks a lot better. So now we have 90% confidence that the value is in between 7.007 and 7.433. And that's it for today. Thank you.